you had a hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. I know mine was filled with lots of plastic eggs, throwing them away, way too many of them, but it was fun. So here we are, it's Monday. It is Make Money Mondays. Before we get started with our content, Brooke, and Tiffany, I wanted to ask anybody on this call, did you come to Foxwoods last week and see us at the Masterminds? If you were, put your hand up or shout out, say, yeah, I was there. Joe, I know you were there.
Sandra,
I got to hug you a couple of times. Anyone else? Jennifer, you weren't there. I was kind of surprised. We're in your neck of the woods. Yeah.
I know, Jenny. I was surprised to see you not there either.
Yeah, my dad broke his ankle.
Oh, no.
Like really, really, really bad. He just got out of surgery about an hour or so ago.
Oh,
so,
yikes.
but yeah, normally I'd be there.
Sending healing vibes his way. All right. Anyone else there?
We just had a whole bunch of people I let in. So if you were at Masterminds and Awards with us last week, let us know.
Yeah, you know what else I'd love to know is if you were there, the few of you that were there on this call, do you have one takeaway or one thing that you just walked out of there feeling like I'm going to implement this into my world because of what I just heard? I'm going to give it a couple of seconds to soak in that question. Like, what was one thing? Sandra or Joe? I didn't see anybody else, so I guess I'm talking to you two.
Joe.
They talked about using RPR, homes.com, realtor.com, all the ancillary sites and sending them out to people and saying, if you'd like to know the real value of your home, reach out back to us and we'll send you a market study. So I thought that was great because usually if you send it out, they have just what you told them. But if you send them out and show how crazy the market is on all these sites, they're not accurate numbers. So you get to send them the accurate number.
I love that. So, we did talk a lot about value as a real estate professional, and that is a big piece of our value is to give accurate information to the consumer. Because how much accurate information is given to the consumer these days on the news? Anybody hear accurate information on the news recently? Because I haven't. The information I'm hearing is like, what?
I have shut off. I canceled cable. I was done. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's why I picked my song today for Virtual Insanity. It was the definition of all news outlets in the last few weeks.
It was silly. So I'm going to encourage you guys with that said, and Joe, thank you for adding that because it really is a value add as a real estate professional to give the most accurate information. So Sandra, I'm going to shoot over to you. And I saw Brian. I think Brian, you said that you were there too. If you have something that you want to come off mute and share with us. Sandra, what was your, let's say one takeaway other than being highlighted as a regional cultural ambassador? What was the other thing that you took away from
it's funny because Joe and I were actually on that mastermind. It was about the event, the mastermind of the transactions and whatnot. And that was brought up. And that to me was like, wow. Because the way that they presented about, all right, not everything you see online, it's true. So the hook was like, here is what it's online. Now, do you really want to know what your health is worth? That was like mind blown. But I also, all my notes are all like coupled together, but I love the talking about value, that it was a little reminder of like, we have different types of values at different times of the transaction, right? We have our values when we're, pre-transaction. Then we have the value where we're active on the transaction, and then the value of post-transaction, because we don't stop giving value and creating that relationship. And that was just a very, very sweet reminder of the basics, which it goes with what we're going to be learning on the 10th and later on with square two, the value square, sorry, of the value. So that was very timely to be reminded about it.
Like you're setting us up for all these great things. Yes, Value Squared. If you haven't heard of the class Value Squared that Gary Keller wrote with Jason Abrams and Jay Papasan, do we have the link? I don't have it readily available to.
Yeah, I just put it.
But I'm sure.
Put it on top again.
All right, awesome. There it is. It's free, by the way. And these classes are gold. Right now, we as an industry need to articulate our value at the highest level possible. And how do you do that? Well, you know what you do. I have right here a list of 90 reasons to hire a buyer's agent. By the way, the next page says 90 more reasons on how to buy a selling agent. You guys do a lot. How do you articulate your value? And sometimes we have a hard time doing that, don't we? Even not even just as a real estate professional. As a human being, we have a hard time explaining our value. This course is really going to be able to help you articulate that and use the words that will be the important words that the consumer and the client needs to hear to understand why they would not want to go through the process without you. Don't let them, because I don't know, has anybody else gotten this from anybody out there? Are real estate agents going away?
Oh,
Are you going, is there going to be real estate agents in transaction? Anybody hear that? Or is it just me that's heard that? I just want to know. I want to kind of gauge it.
every day.
Rick,
My mom-
you heard that too, right? And it's coming from the news outlets and our consumers are listening to that. So that's why it's so important and powerful for us to stay in the know now and really absorb as much information as we can to be able to articulate exactly what our value is, because you have it. I actually, Brooke, I don't know if I told you this, and Tiffany, on Thursday, after coming back from Foxwoods, on Thursday, I did an interview with our local news right here in Rhode Island. And I called them, by the way. And I said, I would like to share our perspective of what is happening in the real estate industry, because I believe there's a lot of misinformation out there. And you know what they said? They said, we'll do the story. So they came to my office and they interviewed me so I could share a little about what we do as real estate professionals. And you know what? It's a lot. It's a lot. I even explained, anybody relate to this? I even explained a real estate agent is like that GIF you see of the person out in the ocean on a surfboard with the laptop open, working out in the ocean with the laptop. That's what you guys do. You're always working and you're always doing things for your clients. I explained we get the calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, can you cancel that open house tomorrow because I'm just not feeling well? We play so many different roles and are doing so many different things that the consumer's not aware of. The biggest thing, they're not aware of how we get compensated. That's why we're having this discussion, or that's why you're hearing about all of this. So we have to be more transparent on it. And I'm passionate about sharing the news that this industry is going to last and last for a very long time. We just have to articulate our value and how we get paid differently. Because if you sit at the end of the transaction at a closing with two buyers with the buyers and the sellers, and you say, hey, could you do this without these two professionals here? You know what they're going to say? No, it can't happen, or it can happen and it gets messy, or it has happened and it's not as easy, or it doesn't go as well. So our industry is thriving and we just need to dive in a little bit more. And I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Turn it over to Tiffany and Brooke. What else do you want to add to that?
Well, I'm going to put the links again in for those who are just joining us. I think it's even more important that we get back to community and back to being human being as well. Part of, if you've been on this call, I see some people who have been on here with us since the beginning. The whole point was to help us get back to being human beings and not just people who sold through our Facebook pages, another one under contract, open house, all these things. And while we have to do those things, not everybody in our world is in those modes. So how do we keep them in our world? And it's by staying online and staying human, but staying consistent and sharing what is factual. You know, one of the things I've learned over the years of working in IT or marketing is that you cannot change someone's ideas by simply commenting or posting on things. There's no room for that anymore. We're not going to change anybody's ideals on those things. But what we can do is be great human beings every single day and just have wonderful, meaningful conversations. Sometimes we need a little assist with that, and that's where these posts come in to help you get engagement, to help you open the door to conversation. So this team looks forward to continuing to bring you content to help you open the door to conversations so that people are comfortable coming to you and saying, what is going on? I know I'm having those conversations. My mom was like, what's going on in your world? And I was like, we're not talking about this at Easter. Do I get an Easter basket? Yes, I do. Can we open Easter baskets? And then maybe we'll talk about it. Is anybody else a grown adult child with an Easter basket? Come on, Sandra does.
I don't know about that. Yet I will say that the topic of conversation at the Easter table was definitely our industry in my world.
I still get an Easter basket, and I would cry if I didn't.
All right. Can I share a couple of things before you go into your content?
Absolutely.
All right. So we are going to be doing a contest. This is a really easy contest and the prizes are cool.
Are we shaving heads?
No shaving heads.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right. So we're doing April contacts bring May contracts. Just
Of this name.
all right. So and this is really easy. You just have to show up and do activities. So everyone's invited, brand new in the business for 30, 40, I don't care. Everyone's invited. So you can attend the contest kickoff tomorrow at 10 a.m. or Thursday at 6 p.m. You get one entry. You attend this call, you get an entry. And today's everybody who's on today, you get an entry. You get contact, if you increase your contact health score by 5%, you get an entry for every 5% increase. I know, right? And go on and on. Here's the win. So my MAPS coach, Tim Beverlin, who's an executive MAPS coach, he's willing to give 2 coaching sessions to the first place winner. The second place winner gets $100 cash, which is from a sponsor. And the third place winner is $50 cash. And you can take that cash and you can use it for Facebook, Facebook, whatever. You can do it for dinner, gas, Facebook, whatever you want to do with it. So I'm going to put in the chat the links to join either tomorrow at 10 a.m. or Thursday at 6. And I'm going to share something else related to the Value Squared. One of our MAPS coaches, let me pull it up, created this document, which is amazing, and I'm going to share it with all of you. And it goes to exactly what Jen was talking about. So how do you show your value? So this MAPS coach literally went through every slide and created a action item. So establish and build trust, demonstrate knowledge, skill, and experience, right? And then there's action items, create a video, all these different things, create a surprise and delight opportunity, critical conversation, create objection handlers. So as we're going through the month, when we do our classes, we're going to be going through this as well. So I'm going to share all that in the chat. Show up. You could win, but you win anyway, because when you get business, you make more money than the $100 that we're going to give you, right?
I like it. I love it. I just love the name. I'm also on a lot of allergy meds, so it's giving me the giggles probably a little more than it normally would. But yeah, Brian, do you have a question?
More of a statement. I guess you had asked for my take on the Foxwoods event, and I was letting my dog out so he wouldn't bark at me. But I thought Tony's speech was incredible on the first day. Unfortunately, I had to leave midway through the second day, but he was talking about, and I was just looking for my notes, but the bottom 80% of all realtors have one job. The top 20% have 2 jobs, which is sales of yourself and your product, which is a house. And the top 1% had 3 jobs, and that was marketing and advertising, marketing yourself. And so that was one thing I thought was really interesting, is you have to know your value proposition. You have to know how to be able to sell yourself to the customers first. And then the second job that we should all be doing in terms of sales, but selling ourselves again, bettering yourself, know your scripts, know your plays, run your plays. And then the last thing was the product and knowing the house. So most people think you have to sell the house first, but you really got to sell yourself first. And, we do that according to like what he was talking about was getting more creative with our marketing of ourselves, either doing the quick videos, video text messages, video emails, just something to separate yourself from the sea of, similar business cards. So I just thought that was a really interesting part of the conference. Well worth the price of admission.
Brian, thank you so much. We didn't even pay you to say that. So thank you so much for sharing all of those wonderful nuggets. And you know what he did mention as well is that if you do a live tour or a live stream of anything, you're going to get more eyes on your page by just doing more lives. So even if you don't like to be on camera, he said, just flip the camera around and do a tour of the house if you're camera shy. But just do it is what he said, because I'm not a huge fan of social media either. Yet a prime example is my daughter has a cooking show, and I don't know how many people have watched the cooking show. All I know is that whenever I'm out in public with her, like yesterday at Easter brunch, I saw one person I knew at the brunch, and she's like, "When's your next cooking show?" to my daughter. I'm like, this is like, but she's never liked one of the posts or comment on one. I didn't know she watched it. Those live posts get more views than you think. So even if you don't like to do them, Tony says do them. So Brian, thank you for adding that, because that was a really big piece of adding your value, and that's a part of it. So thank you.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you. And it's in another mastermind we had previously, we talked about going live on video and how to get over it. And one of the ways they do it was to highlight something before an open house that is unique to the property. Look at this bathtub. Could you see yourself soaking in this bathtub after a long, hard day at work? Or a faucet or a neat window, right? They choose something about the property, have the camera flip the other way and just go for it. I will tell you, when I came to the region, Miss Jennifer Bovey would walk up to me, put the camera in my face and go, "We're live, talk about it." And I'd be like, "Hi." Thank you for that. But it got me so out of my bubble of not being comfortable doing lives, because everything in my world before this was so scripted, so captioned. Everything I did had someone telling me what to do. So when I had to be out of that comfort zone, Jen made sure that I was on it. We're on live. Say hi to everyone, Brooke. Thanks, Jen. It pushed me out of my bubble, though. I appreciate
That's Mel Robbins. She taught me that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1.
We're training our dog with that, by the way. All right, want to get into content?
Let's do it.
Let's do content. New month, new calendar.
Oh, wait, before we do, wait. It's April Fool's Day. I need to know, is anybody doing any fools? I need some suggestions. My daughter is all about it. She's 5. She's all about it. She wants me to do a prank on everybody and anyone. So I just got a video from one of my offices. One of my agents was just hiding in a recycling bin and scared another one of my other.
See, I like that, but that's my life every day.
Tell me something. I want to hear some good April Fool's stuff. What's happening out there? Anybody? Wah, wah.
I know.
Well, I have an idea for one that I've done in the past.
Yes.
I put white toothpaste in between Oreo cookies and gave them to my mom.
See, my kids would like that, though. They're freaks like that. Like,
Oh,
they love mint.
Oh, I might do that to my husband tonight. Thanks, Jenny.
So growing up, what's funny is growing up, my sister and I thought we were so clever every single year. And we would set the table, but we would glue the plastic utensils to the napkin. Or we would put whoopee cushions. We were so little, but we thought we were so funny. And then one year I got in a lot of trouble because they put super glue on the toilet seat, and one of my older aunts came to visit, and well, let me tell you, she left with a present that day, and I've never played a April Fool's prank since. I got in a lot of trouble.
Sounds harsh. All right, so I have to say happy anniversary, Kathleen and Joe. April Fool's wedding, huh? No joking there. How many years, Kathleen? Oh, you're on mute.
16 years, we got married in Vegas in a little chapel.
That's no joke. 16
That was
years.
no
incredible.
joke. And we picked April Fool's Day. We thought that was very appropriate.
That's amazing.
And that's why
Happy
you've lasted
anniversary.
16 years.
That's right. That is right. I love it. Happy anniversary to you and Joe. That's great.
Thank
Uh,
you.
All right, let's see. My grandson's hid spiders in my plants. Were
Nope,
they, were they real or they fake? That's just what I need to know.
I
Were they
can't.
real ones or fake ones? Because if they're real, that's going too far.
That's super glue. Yeah. I'm not a spider person.
Becky, real or fake? Type it if you can.
They were fake.
Oh,
They could stay around.
They
We'll
looked
keep the
real.
grandsons around then, because I was just gonna like jump out of my seat thinking that they were real ones. So, all right. Okay, we could show the content now. I just need
All right.
some ideas. Now I got some. Thank you, Jenny. I think I'm gonna do the Oreo thing tonight.
I love that. All right. There's no jokes on this month. I promise you. I thought about Rickrolling. I thought about doing some things and I was just not feeling great. But what I do love is gardening. So for as green as a thumb I have, Miss Jennifer Bovee has the opposite. Just no thumbs exist when it comes to plants. I've learned over the years to buy her artificial plants. So it's time. I
still
know
have that one. I kept it alive.
you're doing such a great job. I love seeing it on the window.
It's really
No
nice.
times.
I
So
dusted
it's
it.
calling all gardeners. Where's the best local spot to get flowers, veggies, or herbs, right? We know through COVID that a lot of people picked up some really cool new hobbies. Gardening seemed to be one of the ones that really took. Herb garden. It's the only thing I continue to do. I haven't had time for regular gardening. But let's get into our communities and find out where the local places are to go. Yes, could you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or the big box stores? But why not find out who to get them from in town? And better yet, if you do your pot buys for Mother's Day or different summer ones and you choose to do flowers or seeds, why not get them from those places? So crowdsource that. I wish I'd thought of this in March for Mulch Madness. Oh, one of my best hashtags. And then we're continuing because guess what? It's almost time to go eat on porches and patios and decks outside. It's my favorite time of year. I love eating. What do they call it? Al fresco? Is that the right? Yes. Well, it is. My husband would rather do anything but eat outside because he doesn't like the bugs and the noise and the heat, and I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. So we compromise, and we usually go to a place that I'm on the outside and he's on the inside where they have the mixed patio. But a lot of new places opened. I was driving down my main street and there are 3 new restaurants popping in and I cannot wait to try them. So again, we're trying to get into the community. We're trying to crowdsource and we're trying to find out the best place. So give us the dish. Give us the dish. We know where you go, Jen. We know.
Oyster Bar, the executive office.
Executive office. I dream about that place. It's so good. The octopus is so good. And then for this or that Thursday, we're continuing with flowers because I got the most beautiful bouquet of mixed of these two for Easter from my mom and dad. And I loved them. And spring's trying really hard, friends, isn't it? It's trying 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, but we're getting there. So what is the most iconic flower? Is it daffodils? It's probably what's actually making me sneeze now that I think about that. Or is it tulips? Put in the comments, which do you love? Which is the more springy flower? I love it. Jen, I know we don't do flowers, but which one do you?
Well, I'll go pick flowers. They're gonna die no matter what, even if you.
Yeah.
Go pick. So tulips. I love going to take Evie to the tulip farm near us and just cut a bunch of them and then give them away. We give just bundles to as many people as we can, and it's so much fun.
I love that. I should not have opened the chat to go see that because I just saw what Sandra put in for the Windex trick.
Yeah. My luck, I'll keep just enough Windex in and overdose on Windex or something.
I saw somebody's picture from the gym this morning where they replaced the vodka bottle with water. They just put water in the vodka bottle, the empty one, and they were chugging that at the gym as they were walking around. That might be a good one as well if you just start getting the water through the vodka bottle. I thought that was a good one. So yes, love to know. And again, this is a great place. So they're going to give you the places they get the flowers Tuesday. why not go get some and give some bunches of daffodils out in the next few weeks at the places they give you, or tulips based on what your people answer. And if they're anything like Jen, they're going to share with you that they love cut flowers because they're going to die anyway, so she can't kill them.
You say it out loud and it doesn't sound that great, but cut flowers are beautiful for a period of time.
They are. And I love that. I do. I love cut flowers. I love flowers outside. I have always grown up gardening and vegetable gardening. And I always you actually have a great garden out back. You have this like tower thing that you've always got. Evie's always got, it's Evie. That's the problem. See, I knew it. It's Evie.
I'm going to say no comment because I had it for 1 year, didn't work. It's been in my basement since. Anybody want a lettuce grow tower?
I'll take it from you. I'll take it. And I'll even give you some of the veggies after.
I'm going to give it to Elaine. Elaine helped me out huge this weekend. She came to the Ronald McDonald House with me in Providence and we cooked a feast for the families there and she helped me tremendously. And I did learn that Elaine likes to compost her stuff because she took all of the stuff with her back to her house to compost. So, Elaine, thank you very much for your help.
Welcome, anytime.
You're the best. All right.
All right, we've got a winner. Tiffany, do you want to announce today's winner and tell them what they're getting? Do you remember what they're getting or do you need me for that one? Oh, she's muted.
You could share what they're getting.
Well, the winner is going to get the book, Your First Home. Now, if you already have this book, here's my big favor and ask. Put a little sticky note or a card in and write a note to somebody in your market center or a client who you think should get this book. If you have not seen this book, this is one of the newer books they came out with in the last few years. And I loved it. It was such an easy read. And here's the other thing I'm going to show you after this call is there's a whole entire presentation seminar in a box ready for you to do based on this book. So if you've ever been looking for your first home seminar, first time home buyer, whatever it is, it's ready to go in a box for you today. All you have to do is swap out your photo and your info on the PowerPoint slides. It's that good. Marketing, everything. All right, Tiffany.
Our winner this week is Ron Gagnon.
Ooh, you got to be on to win. Are you there? I see you, Ron, with those thumbs up.
Hi, Ron. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Welcome to the call. Unmute.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah, great. Great to be here. You guys are great.
you are our champion.
Champion, yeah. Nice one. Nice one.
It does it.
Oh, you're just fooling me, you know.
No, his shirt doesn't lie. I'm the star of the show, though.
Yeah, I see. It's quite a star.
I'm on a roll today.
I know. The pages of
Oh my God, you guys are cracking me up.
Hey, listen, I have a quick question. Do you have a copy of that 90 reasons you have to hire a buyer agent and a seller agent?
This one right here, sure we
Yeah.
do.
Where did you get it from?
I'll show you in just a minute on the next. Yeah, I'll give it to
Oh,
you guys.
okay, that's gonna come. Okay.
I put
Yep.
a bunch of stuff in the
Sorry.
chat.
Yep. And I want to make sure you guys know where to grab this stuff because in the future, everything's going to be there. So let's stop this. Our regional buddies are going to exit stage right and left. Bye, ladies. Thank you for joining us. That was the most confusing thing about awards, by the way. And where'd you put the table? Stage left. Me. Is my name on it? Hold on. Let's stop this recording.